Coming to you 24 hours in the future. That's right. This is Chrissy in the future. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chrissy and this is my cozy corner. I decided to do a 24-hour readathon and I started on August 13th and it is now August 14th. Today is August 14th, so it is 24 hours later. So I was trying to read for 24 hours straight. So I'm going to insert the recording of me showing you guys the time that I started. I didn't start at the exact time, it was a little bit later, but the date, because it says August 13th when I started. No, there's no funny business going on here. So you're just going to have to tune in for the rest of the video to see if I made it the whole way, or if not, how far I made it. So let's go ahead and get started with the first book. So you're going to come with me over to my bedroom 24 hours ago yesterday. Okay, so quick check-in. The author of this book is Jessica Joyce, and she also wrote You With a View, and I really liked that book, and I'm already hooked with this one. I'm super excited about this being the first one. I'm gonna keep reading and check back in about an hour. Screen. Okay guys, here's my 1 hour check-in. I'm about almost 60 pages, 57 pages in to the Ex Vows. I didn't really account for the amount of times that I had to like pause the timer to get up and use the bathroom, to, you know, get up, or I would check my phone or get a snack. So I'm definitely gonna be up longer than 24 hours. So they're estranged exes and they both have a mutual best friend and he is getting married. His name's Adam. And then the exes are Eli and Georgia, and they're both trying to help Adam with his wedding because things just keep happening that are unfavorable. You know, he can't find a DJ, or like a bunch of things keep happening that are kind of messing up Adam's wedding. So his two best friends who used to date are trying to make the wedding easier for him. So I'm interested to see how they will reconnect. So I will be back when I'm halfway done. Update. I'm a little bit more than halfway through the Ex Vows right now. I am at 2 hours and 51 minutes, which is odd because I feel like, because this is a almost 400 page book, I feel like I don't normally take that long to read just half of it, but like I also never time myself, so maybe, I don't know. Anyways, update on my book. I'm a little bit more than halfway and they are trying to help their friend's wedding not become a disaster. It's kind of odd that they're doing a lot of the work. Like I get helping. It's almost like they're the couple getting married, sort of. You know, of course they're now in this forced proximity moment for the two of them because it's gonna, obviously it's gonna force them to confront any problems that they had in their prior relationship. They obviously still have feelings for each other, so it's a clear second chance. I'm super excited about that. This is spoiler free, so I'm not gonna like give any spoilers, but yeah, so I'm going to continue reading and then I will update you when I finish this book. I see some people finishing these, like, no, I don't consider myself a slow reader, but maybe I am, I don't know. So yeah, as long as I don't keep pausing to procrastinate or do other little things in between, then I should finish this at about the 5.5 hour mark is what I'm thinking. Because I am over halfway, not at halfway. Then I will update you with my final thoughts on this one, and we will move on and pick the next one out. Okay, I'm not done yet, but let's just say this one scene that I just got to is... Okay, so I'm gonna be totally transparent with you guys. I was reading the book and I was like, oh, I'll just film when I finish and just like update everybody on like on how I felt about it. But then I was getting to a part where it was starting to make me feel things, and I was like, okay, let me pause here, and this might be a good time. So I'm gonna go ahead and start the timer back up. Now I'm at, ooh, okay, should I need to stop it because I'm not even reading right now. I'm at 5 hours and almost 30 minutes. Still book one. Okay. I knew it. I was like, I should totally film because I know this part isn't like, didn't know it was coming. It just like popped up and I was like, oh, I love this. This is a good one. Can you not fart while I'm filming? Yes. Now I'm.
Why are you staring at the camera like that?
I'm not staring at the camera.
Well, you're like.
I was cleaning
my
glasses.
Why are you reading with the camera?
Get out! Go! Get out!
What's your thumbnail gonna be? You're gonna be lying like that?
Yeah, leave me alone. Just let me live my life. Let me live my life. Okay, so that was my husband and my son. Acknowledgements. It was cute. Alright, so I finished my first readathon book, The Ex Vows by Jessica Joyce. I really liked it. I will let you know my like precise rating at the end of this readathon video, but I loved it so much. I love the friend group. There's like a little friend group. They're like obviously not a main big part of the plot. Like, so if you've read Happy Place, the friend group is a pretty large part of the plot. I would just say that this has got a good subplot where it really makes you fall in love with a lot of people in the friend group. And the romance was amazing. The second chance was done so well. The communication by the end of it was so well. I feel like both characters like really grew. Something that Eli does in this book that is so romantic. It kind of reminded me of something my husband did, but I'm not gonna say because it'll give it away. And I feel like when you like read it, that's the part that I was like kind of tearing up a little bit about, and that's where I kind of decided to film towards the end. I was like, oh, I'm feeling some things right here. It was a great second chance romance. It was just, the main male character was so ham. Like, he was a ham sandwich and some. Oh, so cute. On to the next one. So I'm thinking maybe a thriller, a fantasy. I've been really disappointed by thrillers lately, but maybe a fantasy because I love fantasy. So I'm thinking maybe a fantasy. So let's go check out my bookshelf, shall we? Alright guys, I'm on my second video. Nope. I'm on my second book, so it's going to be Heartless Hunter. So we're going to go ahead and, I don't know if you guys take your dust jackets off, but like, I don't know, I can't stand to have it on there while I'm reading, so I have to take it off. But this one I'm excited about. It's supposed to be like a romantasy with a witch and a witch hunter, so this is gonna be really fun. So we're gonna start our timer. Get our timer started. And yeah, we're gonna leave that there. Oh, I like this little like opening statement right here. It says, comrades, only through the death of the old world can we prevent the return of evil. We must destroy these witches and snuff out their magic. Everything is permitted for the sake of this higher aim. Freedom from their oppressed. Let their blood stain the streets forever. Then it says, Nicholas Creed, your good commander. All right. Got a map. Hallelujah to that, because I love me a map in a fantasy book. I mean, is it really a fantasy book if there's no map? It is, but they should all have maps. Quick little update. I'm about a third of the way through Heartless Hunter / Crimson Moth. I'm really liking it so far. I think that it has a super unique magic system. One of the cool things is, well, one, they're witches in there, and I feel like there haven't been too many fantasy books that I've read that are really good that have witches. And it's unique because they use like their blood for their magic. Witches have like beautiful markings, and that's how like the blood guard or like the witch hunters can identify witches, because they are trying to get rid of all the witches. Another thing that I like about it is they're short chapters, so it's easily digestible, which most young adult books are, because this is a young adult fantasy or romantasy. Anyway, being that it's late and I'm a little tired, not too tired, I feel like it's a nice, quick, easy read for that. So I do have a couple predictions that I feel like could be predictable, but again, I'm not going to share those because it's a spoiler-free reading vlog. But I really also like the characters. I like the witch, Rune. Her name is Rune. I really like her. And I really like Gideon as well. He's the witch hunter, and I like their like banter and their dynamic, and they're both very suspicious of one another too, so that's kind of funny. But it's like one of them is trying to figure out the other one, but they both kind of know their motives. He thinks she's a witch, and I mean, she knows he's a witch hunter, and she thinks he is trying to figure her out or find her out. So yeah, it's really, really, really fun. I'm really excited to keep reading this. I'm gonna get back into this and update you guys maybe like 2/3 or maybe towards the end. I just finished Heartless Hunter. I'm going to give you more of like details about what I thought about it. Well, not tomorrow, it's really today, but it's like, what time is it? It's like 4 o'clock in the morning right now. So my timer, okay. So I have been reading for 13 hours. I'll hit stop on that. The next book I'm gonna read is, I wanted to do one fantasy, so this is a young adult fantasy. So I got my fantasy, I did a romance. I do want to do a mystery thriller, which I haven't picked out yet, so I was like, may or may not do that one, depending if I have enough time. I went ahead and decided to pick something off of my TBR that I've had, or a book I've had on my shelf for 3 years. I've had it since it released, and I'm like, I'm either gonna read it, I don't read it within the next couple months, I'm just gonna not sell it, but like give it to somebody else who's gonna read it. So I'm gonna go ahead and read Twisted Love, because I've had it for so long and it needs to get read or get loved by somebody else. So we're gonna go ahead and get started on this and see how much longer I can make it during this readathon. So, yes. Okay, I'm gonna be so real with you guys, but I definitely dozed off. My husband got up and got ready for work at like 4 a.m. I think that was the last time updating you. It was like 4 something in the morning. So when he was done getting ready, I came back here to read at 4:30. I think I dozed off at like 6 something. Just so y'all know, it was a nap, okay? Ugh. I read some of Twisted Love last time I was talking to you guys. I don't really know how I feel about it, but we're gonna finish it. And before I even do any updates, I think I'm going to get myself in the shower so that I am prepared for this last stretch. So I will update you guys once all that. No more sleeping. We are up for the final stretch. It was a nap. It was like 2-hour nap, okay? Okay? Because honestly, I'm not even sure if I really know. Like, I know that I was like nodding off. So maybe that's why I'm not sure about it. But, I mean, you know, comes with a challenge. I knew. I do have to run an errand, and then after that, I will be back to my 24-hour readathon. So, yeah. Thanks for tuning in if you're still here. Okay. So, Twisted Love. I don't know if you can tell by my tone. Didn't love Twisted Love. It is about Ava and Alex. Alex is Ava's brother's best friend. He's got a dark past. He is tasked to watching over Ava. I didn't really like it. It just felt like the same run-of-the-mill, smutty, rich guy with a dark past romance. And it was insta-lovey. And as soon as a book is insta-lovey, I immediately kind of start to check out. I don't know. It felt insta-lovey to me. It felt cheesy and cringy at points. I feel like I've read things like this before and it's just not my vibe. So I'm gonna think about my rating because it wasn't horrendous, but it just wasn't my thing is all. So the guy having like a high IQ of like 160, and then he has a condition where he can remember every single little detail about his past. So, you know, obviously that's one of like the root problems to him having attitude and brooding all the time. But also Ava has some things that happen to her, but she definitely is more positive. So I did like that about her. I mean, I didn't really like care for this at all. So we're just gonna move on. Now I want to find a mystery thriller. So let's see. I'm gonna go to I have a very small mystery thriller section in my library. So we're gonna go look at that. Okay. Okay, so my fourth and final book, I don't think I'm gonna finish. I have about 5.5 hours left. So I'm gonna try to at least get most of it done. And then if I don't finish before the 24-hour timer is up, then I will finish it at some point today and still probably include it in this video. Anyway, I hear a lot of great things about The Naturals. I don't know too much about the series. I know people say it's like Criminal Minds-esque, but they're like, I think teenagers, and I think they might have some kind of like special abilities that can aid in cases. This is what I have heard. So we shall find out. Looks like my timer's already been rolling this whole time I've been talking, but that's okay. We're gonna leave it. Let's get started. Let me stop jabbering and let's go ahead and get started. Okay. Update, guys, I'm in the final stretch and I'm exhausted, and I just had a coffee like an hour ago and then some Coke with dinner. So we are in the final stretch. We are just under an hour left. This book is about Cassie, who's really good at like profiling. So she's able to read like behaviors and stuff like that to try and like narrow down suspects. So there's this group called the Naturals who kind of recruits teenagers with these amazing abilities, and they're not like supernatural abilities. That's actually what I was thinking going into this for whatever reason, which is odd because I have read the Inheritance Games by the same author, Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and there's no like supernatural aspect, so I'm not sure why I thought that was going to be the case, but they do each have their own like strengths and strong abilities. So Cassie has profiling, another character might be able to read emotions really well, and there's another character who can use data and statistics to try and narrow things down for suspects, and these people are together trying to like solve cold cases that the FBI couldn't solve. So there's that mystery going on, and there's also the mystery of what happened to Cassie's mom. I had just started part 3. I'm hoping in the next 40 minutes I can finish this and add this to the books in my 24-hour readathon. So I'm gonna go speed read real quick. You guys, the countdown. Welcome to the final countdown. I made it 24 hours with a timer and kind of through the whole night. Like I said, I like fell asleep for 2 hours. So I did not finish the Naturals though, but I did make it to page 273. I think there's like 300 some pages, so there's probably about like 30 some odd pages left in the book, but I'm still proud of myself because my goal was to at least read 3, and I surpassed that, so I'm good with that. I will finish this book tonight and I will include it in my wrap-up. I'm going to do my wrap-up tomorrow. I'm going to film my wrap-up of the books that I read during my 24-hour readathon, star ratings, and all that good stuff, but I would like to do it with a fresh mind, not a sleep-deprived one. So, I'll finish this, I'll read these last 30 pages, and then I'm gonna go to sleep, and I will catch y'all tomorrow. So, stay tuned for the rest of the video so that you can see my final thoughts. Alright guys, as you know, last time I talked to you, I was doing the 24-hour readathon, and I was trying to stay up for 24 hours, and I was going based off of the timer for reading. So if I wasn't reading and I had to use the bathroom or I had to like run an errand, then I would pause the timer. So I ended up doing this longer than 24 hours. Should have picked one. Am I gonna just do stopwatch and sleep? Or am I gonna do 24 hours like straight, 7:30 to 7:30? But you know, you live and you learn. So next time I'll just do the one. So I'm just gonna give quick little like wrap-ups of the books that I read and completed. There was one book where I had 30 pages left. It was the 4th book I was on, and I did not complete it before the 24 hours was up, but I did complete it that same night. So I am going to talk about it in here. So the Ex Vows was the first book that I read, and I talked a lot about this one. I think I'm going to give this one a 4.5. I really, really liked it. There wasn't too many things I didn't like. The only real feedback that I would have given on this book is that I would have liked to have more from Eli. There was no point of view from Eli, but I felt like I wanted to know more about his character because I liked him so much. So if you're looking for a good second chance romance with mild spice and kind of Emily Henry-esque writing, then I think that you definitely would really like this book. Highly recommend, and let's go ahead and go to the next book. So the second book I read in the readathon was The Heartless Hunter. The more that I've actually sat on my feelings with this book, the less I've liked it, but I still like it. So I was thinking it was gonna be a 4.5 after I finished it because I really thought it was a unique read, but I think I'm gonna stick it at a solid 4. The magic system is easy, so if you aren't a big fantasy reader, this is a really good one to dip your toes in first into the fantasy world. The only thing is the relationship kind of felt a little surface level. Like I didn't understand why they had such a deep connection aside from some like bantering moments. That was my big thing with this book. Also, the reveal is so easy, like it's so predictable. That was a little disappointing, but overall I liked the plot. It moved really fast. The chapters are decently short. It's a young adult fantasy. As far as spice goes, I would consider this more closed door. It sort of reminded me of like the description, maybe like the very like light minimal descriptions you get in One Dark Window, but even less than that actually. Still a good one though. So the next book that I decided to pick up, I think it was like 4 o'clock in the morning when I finished Heartless Hunter. So I was excited to knock something off my TBR, or something that's been on my shelf for so long, and I did not like it. I would say this is like a 2-star for me. So the tropes in this is brother's best friend. So Ava is Alex's best friend's little sister. It felt like when I was like reading like Hooked and Wretched, it felt just, I'm not really into those type of romances where it's like insta love, smutty, and then the guy is jealous of everybody. That to me is like a total just like turn off. I didn't like that at all. The story feels so far-fetched that I cringed and rolled my eyes the whole time. I liked Ava, I guess, but I really didn't like Alex at all. I just didn't like his personality. He was too broody. There's like broody, you know, like Stefan Salvador from the Vampire Diaries, but it's hot. And there's like broody and also a jerk, and it's not. And I just didn't like it at all for all of those reasons. I won't be reading the rest of this series, but I'm not going to say I can't be convinced, because I absolutely can. All right, so the last book that I read in my readathon was The Naturals, and I read The Inheritance Games by the same author, Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I liked The Inheritance Game. It's a very YA, which is not a bad thing, because like Heartless Hunter is YA and it's great, and some of my favorite fantasies are YA. So the genre is mystery. I thought that the concept was really cool. I did not think the reveal at all was shocking. It's very predictable. It's a fast read. The words are large and the chapters are short, so you will fly through it. I'm gonna say this is a 3.5 stars. I'm gonna give this a 3.5 stars because I'm in between a 3 and a 3.5, because like I wasn't blown away, but I did think the whole concept was interesting. There is a love triangle in this, which if done well, I'm okay with, but love triangles feel very the thing when I was a teenager, you know, during Twilight and all that. I didn't hate this one. It was fine, but I wasn't attached or like obsessed with the relationships of any of them. I was more just there for the reveals and like the interesting premise. It's like a quick, easy read. Now, with this one, I had 30 pages left before the 24 hours was up. I read about 3 books and maybe about like 5/6 of another book. So I would say that this readathon was a pretty successful for me for my first time, and I can't wait to do this again and see if I read even more than I did before and find some new favorites like I did this time. I was able to find a favorite and also check something off my TBR. Now I know I can pass this on to somebody else who might like this type of book better. So yeah, I think that this was very productive, and thank you so much for watching and sticking through this with me and supporting my small channel. I greatly appreciate it. Until next time, I make videos every Sundays, and I hope to see you next week. Bye guys.